Shut up, Rose.
I'm Yvonne, and this is it. Woo! 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 Okay, everybody, let's warm up. Woo! And stretch. Legs wider.
Of course.
I will never forget the night I made that discovery. It was during the spring cotillion. I was wearing a long white dress and my first push-up bra. And Bobby Buck McAllister and I were enjoying a glass of punch out on the veranda when a beam of moonlight hit my cleavage. Each other.
Rose, we both answered an ad to share Blanche's house that we found in the supermarket. It was not the resurrection. It is hardly a miracle.
To me, it was a miracle because we're happy. It's not fair, you know. I mean, we get married, we have kids.
He was your cousin. Where the relationship might have had a future.
Tell me, Blanche, did any of your relatives appear in Deliverance?
It was during the Korean conflict. I was rejected as a whack. I failed the ink blot test.
Oh, come on, Rose. Now, how can you fail an ink blot?
Excuse me, would you like to buy a flower?
Beat it, Frodo! And while you're at it, get a job, get a suit, and get on your knees and beg your mother's forgiveness.
Don't worry, we'll all be at that charity dinner. This is just an allergy. Believe me, if I were coming down with something, I'd know it, and I wouldn't risk getting the rest of you sick.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me, honey. I never get sick. I take very good care of myself. I treat my body like a temple.
Yeah, opens every...
You think maybe you could hold on to something else for a while, honey?
Oh, of course, honey. I'm sorry.
Meant like the armrest.
Look, girls, I found this big bolt in the aisle. What do you think it...
Strangely titillating. Oh, you were talking to her.
Trudy, how about if tomorrow we play a real game? You know, something that requires real skill.
You mean like midget ice bowling?
I'm talking about tennis, you do.
Stolic 17? I went for a walk. I couldn't sleep. I had a nightmare.
Tell me about it, Sophia. Sometimes I can interpret dreams.
Blanche sold the house, and I wound up back at Shady Pines.
This is a tough one.
Dorothy, please don't send me back.
Ma, I am not sending you back to Shady Pines.
So when's Trudy coming?
Week after next. Which reminds me, I have to rush.
To where to?
Tennis lessons. I figure if she's going to be here, we ought to have a nice, quiet game.
Oh, that's sweet.
And a lot of...
No fear, I had to talk to her the last time.
Blanche, not to doubt your stamina, but don't you think those men are going to be bored?
Oh, of course not. Dorothy, tonight's a full moon. A night when men's passions, like the tides, are pulled to their highest...
Guido Spirelli? It's me, Sophia. I've come a long way to speak to you. Many years ago, I wronged you. I broke your heart, and because of that, I've been suffering all these years. I just want you to know how sorry I am. From the bottom of my heart, Guido, I apologize.
Tie caught in the stamping machine. He'd have choked to death if I hadn't cut his tie with my Girl Scout knife. Well, he was so overwhelmed with gratitude, he let me check my book out for a whole week.
What's so special about that?
Oh, usually he'd only let you check a book out for an hour. Mr. Minky always said books belong in a library.
That should take care of it.
We're all out of fresh pepper. Do you have any more?
Oh, yeah, in the pantry in the back.
Oh, boy, this chicken looks great.
Girls, Count Bessie is missing. I went out to the garage to feed her and her...
This out.
All right, okay. I understand. It's just that the thought of losing you, Rose, it scares me. I love you, damn it. I want us to be together. We should be together because we want to be, not because I boxed you into a corner with an ultimatum. You take all the time you need.
I think he's been very unfair. We really ought to all stop going, then he'd have no sculpture.
It would serve him right.
Yes, it would.
Well, all right then, girls, let's make a pact. None of us will go back. And we'll seal it by both of you giving me your keys, and I'll keep all three of them safe in my hope chest.
And how do we know that you and your hope chest won't?
He loved me more than Grout.
Must have been a tough choice for old Charlie.
I thought I heard voices. Now I see that only two of them are God-fearing.
Ma, will you get off my back? I feel bad enough.
You, what about me? 81 years I've eaten fish on...
An impressive body of knowledge. You said so yourself. How could I not be on?
All right, if you really want to know, Ms. Bornak, I'll tell you. On Jeopardy, we don't have any celebrity stars as contestants. Everyday citizens, those are our stars. Those are the people that our viewers care about.
Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Mrs. Petrillo. Did you have trouble sleeping?
No, why?
Well, last night I woke up and you were sitting on a chair in my room.
Oh, yeah. Well, where I used to live, the bathroom was across the hall.
Call all over the world free of charge, except for Albania and North Korea, of course. In your television remote, you can use it to raise the windows and flush the toilet. Well, I'm going to run over to the freeway, see if there are any cars in trouble.
This guy knocks me out. Chuck, do you think you could finish our dishwasher first?
I'm not Chuck.
Fire.
They loved her ideas. They said I should use them. I said no. They said you're fired.
Look, it was never my intention for anything like this to happen. I'll go down first thing in the morning and talk to him.
Come on, honey, sit down. Now, don't worry. If Dorothy says she'll get your job back, that's exactly what she's going to do.
Well, I guess it's worth a shot.
I'd go out with a grandmother. I don't want to go out with someone I can't trust. Goodbye, Blanche.
Well, that's that. No use crying. Shall we take the baby to the park?
Why? So you can pick someone else up?
Lead his people through whatever battles need to be fought. Dorothy, that young peasant girl was me. And that young man was Winston Churchill.
Your help.
Ladies, with all due respect, I think it's time you threw in the dish towel. I mean, trying to fix it yourself was cute, but I think you proved your point, and it's time to let a man take over.
I'm with Lou.
Oh, get your coat. Lou is leaving.
Not so hard! I look at my hands!
You're making a big mistake. The man may be...
Starting Tuesday. And Blanche is busy with her granddaughter, and Rose is... Well, I think a nurse is the way to go.
I don't need a nurse. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
Oh, really? Then why have you been running me ragged doing things for you?
Honestly, it tickles me.
Look, Ma, I'm hiring...
Having a nice time, Dorothy?
Wonderful.
Me too. This reminds me of when we were kids, and you and Stan double-dated with me and Lois Burnett.
Oh, yeah, we went to Roseland, and you and I did the jitterbug.
And afterwards to Louis for a malt?
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm sitting here listening to a discussion about Sophia's love life.
Rose, let me fix you up with Willie. He needs to forget me.
No, thank you.
Okay, but you don't know what you're missing. There aren't many guys around who remember where they were when the Archduke Ferdinand was shot.
I don't know.
Oh, honey, please. We're really sorry.
Well, I might forgive you, but I can't speak for Baby.
Is there something we can do to smooth things over?
Well, a kiss on the... It won't be long before I meet nice people and make some new friends. I have a real good feeling about that. So, I just wanted you to know what I decided. I hope to be in Florida before the next winter comes.
Box.
The box? What box? Oh! It completely slipped my mind.
Oh, yeah, that kind of thing happens to me. All the shrimp you can eat.
Nice try, Mom. Let's talk about...
Dorothy, would you please check my list and see if I forgot to invite anybody to my Moonlight Madness party?
Sure. The women.
Pardon me?
The women. You invited 12 men and no women.
Now, Dorothy, I know what you're thinking, but Rose and Sophia are coming. You'll have somebody to talk to.
Sick, Dorothy. The people I see can't walk. They can't swallow. Some of them can't breathe. Look, don't take this the wrong way, but have you ever thought about seeing a psychiatrist?
I have seen 2. Here are their letters. They both say there is nothing psychologically wrong with me. They believe it is physical.
What the hell do they know?
Levi's.
Hell, that solves the mystery. They think Rose is a little kid.
What are we going to do? If she reads that letter to the press, she'll humiliate herself.
We certainly can't tell those Russians the truth.
Why not?
Because they will use it as a propaganda ploy to convince the whole world
Out telling me all the time. How do you think I got pregnant with your brother Phil?
Just remember, Dorothy, I'll handle everything. I'm a salesman. I deal with people all the time. I know exactly what I'm doing. Shut up, Stan. Mellow out.
Ma, what are you doing?
Merrill called. He's coming over. I'm hiding all our valuables.
Why?
Why? You think the man went to prison for free coveralls and some male bonding?
I paid my sister to sing for free in his piano bar.
You mean your sister Virginia?
No, I mean my sister, Miss Susan Anton.
Blanche, how could you tell such a lie?
He didn't believe me for a minute. He told me I was much too attractive to be related to her. But he gave us the room anyhow because he said he liked my moxie.
Why, no.
Oh, girls, I just had the most disturbing dream.
Oh, what was it?
Well, I was stranded on a desert island with Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and Steve Gutenberg. 3 men and no baby. They kept passing me around and kissing me and powdering this.
Oh! Ma, stop that!
Hi, it's me, Stan.
Stanley, what do you want?
I want you to turn on your TV. It is almost 6:28.
What's happening in 628?
You're going to find out why Stan Zbornak is now a very rich man.
But you're not in any pain?
No, slight discomfort.
You want discomfort? Try sitting in this chair for 8 hours.
How was the dance recital?
Oh, we were great. They loved us. We've been invited to dance next month at the Sunset Charity Ball. And there's even...
Now, wait a minute. Don't think I don't know what you all are getting at. You think the advice I gave was bad just because it devastated 4 lives.
Blanche, when are you going to realize you have to be responsible? This isn't a game. You're playing around with the emotions of real human beings.
I've made a decision. I'm going to go see Tony.
Don't do that. Now you have him right where you...
So bad.
Hey, I'm the one who should feel bad. Lydia and I were wearing the same dress.
Honey, can we go now? I've been planning this for months. A weekend alone in the woods. It's going to be perfect.
Oh, it sounds romantic. Maybe you'll have another baby.
So you find one little flaw in somebody and you run away.
A little flaw? He has skinny arms. How'd you like to be made love to by somebody who has arms like your mother?
My father made love to her because of her inner beauty.
He never saw me naked.
Cheese?
Why don't we go really high fiber and spread ketchup on cardboard? Pizza, damn it, get pizza.
That's funny. The phone book is missing again.
Wait a minute, where's Ma?
Is my car gone?
Yeah, your car is fine. My car is gone.
See ya.
Oh, what did I ever see in that man?
Don't blame yourself. You were young, you were carefree. You were just one of those girls who marries the first guy who knocks her up.
Gee, this is really cool.
Yeah, I see that you've met...
Stanley.
Surgery. You mean heart bypass?
Yeah, the doctor says the problem's been brewing for years. I don't understand it. I always exercise, eat healthy.
Oh, please. Your idea of healthy eating is taking the skin off a knockwurst.
Whatever. He says I don't have a choice anymore. Oh, Dorothy.
Oh, come on. We have a place to go home to, and so many people don't. We should keep them in our hearts and our minds, not just on Christmas, but every day of the year.
It's more than a place to go. It's having someone there for you. We have each other. There's always someone there.
That's right.
That's right, darling. So let's go home.
From the largest tobacco plantation in all of Cuba. Do you know that at one time I was the most famous Fidel in the entire country? Until you-know-who showed up.
Who? Rex the Wonder Horse, Rose.
How did you know about Santiago Cigar?
I never bought that unconscious story.
I swear, he must have slipped me something.
Apparently.
But at least what we all did was natural.
Ma.
Is it morning already?
No. I just wanted to ask you a question.
What?
How would you react if you were told that one of your kids was gay?
Your brother Phil is gay? I knew it. When he was a kid, we couldn't keep him away from those gladiator movies.
Okay, good to see her sitting there.
Oh, Miles.
Get it while you're young, baby.
Hey, Rose, come on. Let's go. I've got a great idea. You ever watch that romantic cruise that leaves at 6 p.m. from the pier?
Listen, Rose, remember, Mom's the word. Dorothy will break the bad news in due time, okay?
Excuse me, has anyone seen...
No, you moron. She has a date.
Oh. Is that true, Dorothy? Do you have a date tonight?
Rose, I mean, that's an awfully personal question. Yes!
She's right, Dorothy. Barbara is not very nice. I mean, she looks down on everybody except you, and that's only because you look up to her.
Oh, come on, now that is ridiculous,
You
Rose.
just don't notice how she uses her intelligence to make everybody else look stupid. Like tonight at supper when she asked us to pass the salt in Latin. Oh, I think she cares more about words. Look at you, girl. Terrific little figure, gorgeous hair, perfect skin, just like looking in the mirror.
Get some Windex.
How was your trip?
Oh, it was wonderful. I met a gorgeous single doctor on the plane.
Forget the Dr. Blanche. Call the paramedics. What is taking them so long? It's been over an hour.
I'm sure they're doing the best they can.
Cafeteria was closed. This is all I could find.
Thanks, honey.
Any word on Sophia? That is coming. He just called. Oh, Big Daddy's going to be in Miami tomorrow. I can't believe it.
I can't believe I know anyone who calls their father Big Daddy.
Back home, everybody calls him Big Daddy. Well, he's the most respected and beloved man in our town. Oh, for as long as I can remember.
Peanuts.
I thought that was George Washington Carver.
Willard, don't ever touch your buzzer again.
Rose.
Is the correct answer George Schultz?
That's correct.
We had such fun. You know, Barry is exactly as I remembered him.
Come on now. After 35 years, there must have been some surprises.
Well, a few. You know, his hair's a little thinner. He's put on a little weight.
But is he still your fantasy lover, or has the fantasy become a reality?
Well, not exactly. You see, Barry Glick...
Talking about? She was lonely.
You're out of beer, too. You're out of peanut butter? Hell, George, you better get her back. I'm gonna starve to death. Oh, Dorothy! What a nice surprise.
For you, maybe. George, I wanted to talk to you.
Do I detect a note of hostility?
A note? How about a symphony?
I'm being dramatic, you moron. I mean, I spit at the name Dorothy. I have no daughter. I have no spit.
Honey, can't you go to the eye doctor tomorrow?
Please, I can hardly see...
Girls, you wouldn't believe the progress Mrs. Hubbard is making.
Oh, is she feeling better?
Oh, it's like a miracle. She's laughing and talking, and all because of Jake. Oh, girls, I cannot thank you enough. That dog is the best thing that ever happened to me. Here comes our hero now.
Miserable, no good lowlife. You told me your mama was having surgery.
She is.
Blanche, please let me explain. Why? So you can make up some cockamamie story about how you're just two ships that passed in the night and it'll never happen again? Save your breath. I've heard all that before.
You have?
Yes, full respect. These are all masters of their crafts.
Hi, girls. Who are all these old men?
The Osmond brothers, Rose. The years without Donnie have not been kind to them.
These are Vincenzo's friends, Rose.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I've had so much on my mind lately.
Have you decided you just want to date girls in their 20s and 30s? What's a great-looking gal in her 40s to do?
Perhaps we should find one and ask her. Oh, come on, Blanche. This is all your own fault. I mean, take Stephen. You'd been dating him for 6 weeks. The moment it looked like you were making some sort...
I knew. I wish I had had that with my mother. You know, when she died, George and I got to the hospital too late. I didn't get to say goodbye to her. And now I'm not going to get to say goodbye.
Stop it, Blanche. Rose can beat this. Hell, if I can beat it, she can. And you know how I know? Because she's strush. It's not like you have a date tonight.
Ma.
It's not like you have a date any night or any day.
Look, Ma, when I find somebody worth going out with, I'll go out with him. Now, will you please stop nagging me?
Nagging? Is that what it's called when a mother wants a little happiness for her daughter?
Ma, I'd like to finish these glasses before Gloria gets here.
Your sister's not blessed. Ida Perkins, every time he sat down to eat a baked potato.
When did you leave the home, Mrs. Perkins?
Oh, maybe a year now. I don't really keep track.
So what made you decide to leave?
Decide? Some things in life you never get to decide. Some things just happen.
That's great, Ma. That's really beautiful. But there's nothing like that between me and Mr. Gordon. If you don't believe me, why don't you join us for lunch?
Join you for lunch? Let me check my social calendar. Oh, okay, I'm free.
Ma Ball, which is being chaired this year by 35-year-old Blanche Devereaux. How much did that cost you?
I don't have to pay for my compliments.
You went to bed with him.
We'll start first with Blanche from the green team. Blanche, show us your stuff.
You first, Mr. Game Show host.
Blanche, spin the wheel. You are landing on...
Blanche, we joined the Friends of Sea Mammals for a reason. You are so unmotivated.
Well, when I joined this mammals with blowholes thing, I didn't expect to be carrying picket signs on some grungy dock. I was hoping more for a fundraiser cocktail party with...
But then who wouldn't? He's sensitive, he's caring, and he thinks I'm neater than hard salami.
Did he actually tell you that?
I shouldn't have repeated it. It was said in a moment of...
Intimidating. This way, I'm just one of the guys.
You think a lot of these kids, don't you?
Oh, hey, so do you.
Well, I do, but I don't know. I sense a special dedication from you. It's nice.
Oh, thanks, Dorothy. I've been at this a long time. I watch these kids grow. I know their families. I've been to their homes for dinner.
Really? You've been to their homes for dinner?
Almost finished the entire cheesecake.
Oh, what the hell? It was a special occasion.
Yeah, and it sure took my mind off of Psycho.
Listen, these can wait till morning. Let's go to bed.
Okay.
calls it, with free refreshments after.
Well, you've always known Miles was frugal.
He's more than frugal. He's frickin' frugal.
Well, Rose.
It's a Scandinavian term. Honest.
100 times, you cannot get pregnant using the toilet at the mall.
I'll bet it's a boy. You're carrying really high in the front.
I'm not having a baby. I'm getting a baby. I got a telegram that my Uncle Hingablotter had passed away and left me... I'm making omelets for us without yolks so we don't get too much cholesterol. And that leaves us all these yolks, which I hate to throw out, so I thought we'd give them to the homeless.
Fine, give them egg yolks. They'll die of heart attacks. They won't need homes.
Something blue?
Here. This is blue.
These earrings are old. They were my grandmother's.
Thank you. Here, I borrowed these knee-high surgical stockings on the bus.
Here, Lorraine.
That's everything but the new herring. And the Lindstroms wanted to train him for the circus.
Weren't they kind of hard to see riding on the elephants?
Oh, not that kind of circus. A herring circus. Sort of like SeaWorld. Only smaller.
Kissed at midnight on New Year's Eve. I didn't get lucky till after the Orange Bowl.
Well, if being kissed is all you care about, why didn't you just stay at the Rusty Anchor?
Oh, it was too crowded.
They threw you out again, didn't they?
Tolerated him as long as I can. He's got to go.
But Dorothy...
No buts, Rose.
Well, okay, but I'll need a few more days.
All right, a few more days, and that is it. Get me a doggy bone.
I don't know, Dorothy. I don't think you deserve one.
Rose.
Me. Oh, yes. It was the day before Christmas, and we were playing, and she jiggled the tree, and the star fell off and broke. So she told me to pick it up and put it on my finger, and I did. Then she plugged it in. And wow.
But that's the silliest thing I ever heard. Feeling guilty for sharing a little kiss with a friend?
Well, see, she's right. There's nothing wrong with kissing a friend.
Or a stranger? Who knows why we acted like we did?
Who is it?
Mrs. Beatty.
Oh, Mrs. Beatty, come in.
I just had to come by. You were so caring to come tell me in person what happened that I had to do something for you.
Oh, that wasn't necessary.
Well, I know you blame yourself for Al's.
But when I saw your mother again after all these years, something happened. We talked, we laughed, we held hands, we fell in love. Actually, we got a hot dog before we fell in love. But the point is, we're crazy about each other. And if this turns out to be a mistake, what the hell? We'll probably be dead before we find out.
Tell you until you're 60, but I think you can handle it now. We lived in New York at the time, and there was the San Gennaro Festival every year. And your father, may he rest in peace until I get there, got so turned on by the festivities one year, he couldn't wait till we got home. Why, don't you look lovely?
Thank you. I have a date.
Oh, I see. Anybody I know?
His name is Robert. He lives in a castle.
A castle? Oh, that's very exciting. Would you like some help with your makeup?
Okay.
You know, I used to go out with a Robert. His father owned the movie house.
Nightmares, monsters in the closet, and he'd always let me sleep in your room. You remember, Ma? And I remember how you and Pop would get me to stop crying. You'd put your arms around me and kiss me and say, as long as you're in my arms, everything's going to be okay.
You should go and stick to your guns.
Right. I've made my decision. I'm going to stand by it. No matter what happens, I'm not going to turn back. I forgot my raincoat. Silly.
Now what'd you forget?
I forgot to kiss you.
I don't know, honey. I don't need it on my thigh.
Who's she going out with?
Harry, again.
Harry? Who is this Harry?
All Blanche said was he still has his own teeth and hair.
Oh, it is wonderful dating in Miami. All the single men are...
Rose, we have to talk. Forget it, Sophia. I'm not talking to you. What you did is the worst thing you've ever done to me.
Oh, come on. Worse than the time I buried
Me. Always mouthing off about how her hair was curlier than mine, her complexion was prettier than mine. I finally said there was good reason for it. She was left by gypsies. Had her completely convinced.
What did she say when you told her the truth?
Oh, I never did.
Right now with some very big name celebrities to be our MC.
Like who?
Well,
Great news! We've got Bob Hope for our MC! Nice work, Dorothy. Meeting adjourned.
See you soon again. Oh, it must be at least 103, and the mall was impossible.
Did you get something for the grandchildren?
Oh, please. You know, Robbie wants a Batman hat. I went to 6 different stores. They were all sold out. I finally went to one store where they had one hat left, and another woman saw it. Oh, I came to Miami.
Well, we've got one scheduled to leave at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Does that mean it'll actually leave at 5:30?
Welcome to Appalachian.
Oh, I don't believe this. I mean, this has to be the most depressing day of my life. First Edna McCarthy's funeral, now this.
I heard every word you said. I wasn't asleep. I was just resting my eyes so you'd leave me alone. I used to do that with your father. It only worked about half of the time. Asleep, awake, it didn't matter to him.
On television, ever! It's in stereo, for Pete's sake.
Oh, I'd like to see my niece.
Sure, come on in.
Blanche, I can't believe you're here. I mean, haven't you embarrassed me enough already?
Lucy, can we please talk in private?
Whatever you have to say to me, you can say right here.
Somehow he manages to suppress the urge to throw me on the floor and ravish me.
Please, if he throws you on the floor, you both end up at the apartment below.
Drink up, Blanche.
That must be him now. I just have to grip my jacket. We're driving into the museum together.
Started feeling those awful stirrings and urgings. I was like a spring blooming peach bud just ripened to dewy fruition, waiting to be plucked by the first handsome man to come my way.
You were looking for some nookie.
Exactly.
Well, Floyd McCall! Oh, shame on you sneaking up on us like that. And in front of this young child, too.
Oh, Blanche, this is Linda.
Hello, Linda, honey. Is your daddy taking you out to lunch?
Linda's just a friend, Blanche.
Oops. Oh, Floyd, I'm just so embarrassed.
What's with the sardines?
Ma, how are we going to get rid of all of this?
Don't worry, tomorrow we're getting 5 cases of pickled onions.
Boy, life sure has a way of throwing you curveballs. When I was younger, I never would have imagined that I'd be worrying about money at this heavy old jacket. We put the winning lottery ticket in the pocket.
Start the engine and open the door. I'll jump in at the bottom of the driveway.
Rose, some of his paintings are worth thousands of dollars. Oh, here. This is a dekimmel on this brochure for the exhibit.
I don't get it.
This kind of art does nothing for me.
But you have to open your mind to new perceptions. This is non-representational art. I work
On grapes. And Bruno makes a killing selling orthopedic sandals.
Now, don't tell me he went to America and changed his name to Dr. Scholl.
No.
Actually, he developed a foot fetish and suffocated when he shoved his head in a lady's rubber boot.
Hello, girls. Dorothy, Rose, you all remember Laszlo?
Of course, Laszlo, the artist from your museum. Oh, we really enjoyed your lecture on modern sculpture.
I didn't think anyone was paying attention.
Oh, we sure were. Especially Dorothy. She even talked to...
Nice. Miami is nice. Miami is... Wait a minute. You put in an extra Miami is nice.
I had to. It hurts the music if you don't put it in.
Yeah, but the lyrics don't make any sense. I mean, it goes, Miami is nice, so I'll say it twice. Flying to a mountain.
That would be a good example of a mishap.
Rose, do me a favor. Fasten your seatbelt.
Over your mouth.
Rose, why don't we use our time constructively and work on your eulogy? Now, what are you planning to say, honey?
I don't know. I'll probably studying don't allow cats, and I'm not about to part with Mr. Peepers.
Oh, I guess you two have been through a lot together, huh?
Yes. I found him last week. But I wouldn't feel right having a home if he didn't. We'd become very attached to you.
You know, I think that shows great strength of character. I like you, and I like cats. I also happen to have a room.
How did you know you weren't?
Maybe it was all those Huck if you've had Blanche bumper stickers.
I wish I knew what to do.
Oh, I could settle that thing with Miles in 1 minute.
No. I mean, I'm trying to save something that you can't go into without wearing hip boots.
Well, some people might chuckle, but I think what you're doing is important. I mean, people laughed at me back in St. Olaf when I spearheaded the drive to get our very own missile silo. Brush my teeth.
I know how you feel. I always make sure I brush after every meal. You wouldn't happen to have a meal on you, would you?
What are you staring at?
Oh, I didn't set it up. You see, we're serving Cornish game hen.
Oh, well, now that you've explained it. But this still doesn't say anything about Jerry.
I know, but I've drawn a blank. I even called his brother. They haven't spoken since Jerry was arrested for public nudity. Blanche, don't you think it's time we cut the cake?
Oh, yes, I do, Rose.
Who invited... I thought you said he was cute.
Well, he is cute, but a dog belongs outdoors in his natural habitat where he's free to roam and lick himself in the privacy of his own doghouse.
He won't be any trouble. I'll keep him in my room till I find his owner. You won't even know he's here.
Oh, well, I suppose it's okay, but we're 21, and they still don't come to you because they think you weren't there for them. I have a pretty tough time living with that, you know. And I just intend to make damn sure that if the time ever comes, there's going to be somebody there for Emily.
Before I start this piece, I just have one question to ask. Do I play the violin?
Oh, no.
I'm afraid I can't remember the piece I'm supposed to play. Look, this happens sometimes after a fight. Can I come back tomorrow?
I'm afraid not. You won't be eligible again until...
Crockett and Tubbs are wearing darker colors.
Good morning.
Ma, why are you dressed like that?
I'm introducing my new line of tennis wear. What do you think? I'm in mourning.
For whom, Sophia?
Michael. I think it was the white wine. I finally told him she was Blanche and she didn't want to have anything to do with him.
Well, what did he say?
He said he wanted to have something to remember you by, so he took the silver.
Well, at least I guess it's some consolation that he couldn't possibly find the secret place where I hide my jewelry.
Oh.
That like it or not, the sky is falling.
Help! Disaster is near. Help!
We're trembling with fear.
Help. The outlook is drear. We're dreading Armageddon, they disrupt our career. And though he...
Apparently, it's a hereditary trait.
I'll say this for Clayton, he has great taste. Doug is absolutely charming.
And funny, it's not every couple can do a good Betty Davis impression.
Blanche. Bye-bye. I hate lying. It goes against my nature. I guess that's because growing up in St. Olaf, one day every year they gather all the children who lied in the town square and the mayor would point at them.
Jerry is not a mama's boy. In fact, he and I came to a major understanding tonight.
He and his mother aren't going to see any other girls.
Jerry is simply a man who happened...
Where he could do both jobs at the same time. But everyone hated Minky. Well, he seemed to take great pleasure in giving other people pain. They hated him so much that nobody ever went to the dentist or the library. In 1938, you could tell if someone was from St. Olaf. They were illiterate and they had teeth that looked like Indian coal. Strudel was our little pet name for sex.
Wow, you were mad.
You bet. But I decided one mistake shouldn't erase the memories of all the good times or how much we loved each other. Don't throw George's memory away. It's nice. So you spent the evening at dinner.
No, we spent dinner at dinner. We spent the evening at a motel.
A motel, Dorothy! A cheap, tawdry, bare-balled den of iniquity!
We didn't drive to Sodom and...
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten your seatbelt sign is now off. If anyone knows how to fix it, please report to the flight attendant.
I don't get it. You didn't come in here to apologize. Why don't you leave? Why should I apologize? I'll tell you why, because you're nothing but a backstabbing Judas in sensible shoes. Well, you know what you are? You're a 2-lira tramp with cheap bridge work. May you put your dentures in upside down and chew your head off.
Strangely titillating. Oh, you were talking to her.
Trudy, how about if tomorrow we play a real game? You know, something that requires real skill.
You mean like midget ice bowling?
I'm talking about tennis, you do. Who knows when she'll be home?
Checkout time is usually noon.
You know, Blanche has been without a date for weeks. I know that because all the pictures on my wall are straight.
Hey, it's never easy to...
Oh, I hope he's going to be all right. Oh, Dorothy, that was so sweet of you. Telling him he could come live with us.
I meant it.
It's going to be awfully quiet around here without him.
I'll say, no more listening to Dorothy snore.
I do not...
And then she feels better.
It scares me a lot.
Well, anyway, good luck to you both. Come along, Clarice.
Help me.
Did you see that? I tell you, some people should not be allowed near children.
I really don't think I need to go up there. I could see it was a goner when I drove up.
Oh, Sid, well, can't you patch it up or something?
Well, yeah, I could patch it up for you, but that won't stop more leaks when it rains again.
What are you trying to say, Sid?
You couldn't follow that?
She has trouble following Murder, She Wrote.
To the wedding.
Doug.
Got an anesthesiologist, but you won't feel anything.
Doug.
All right, Doug. But listen, don't you forget, you be careful. This man is on loan from the Blanche Devereaux collection.
About sex.
Ma, I've had sex more years than I care to think about.
I know. I think you're doing it wrong.
Sounds like the guests are arriving.
When is the funeral?
Wednesday.
I'll go back to Brooklyn with you.
I'm not going, and you know why.
I guess the body was lost at sea.
Ma doesn't want to go to the funeral because Esther's husband...
Max Weinstock will be there. I will not stand...
Whiskey. That explains why every Sunday after services he'd stand up and yell, "I can lick any man in this church."
Oh, pussycat. Just the person I was looking for. I have a question for you. Strictly hypothetical. Let's say...
It's taken me these past 8 months to accept that, but I finally have. Then why our usual little private birthday celebration? It somehow feels less lonely, Charlie. I mean, this is the first special day I've had to spend without you. If it had been Christmas, I'd probably have hung your stocking.
Community, I'm proud to take cows for 300.
The answer is a young cow that has not yet born a calf. Rose.
What is a heifer?
You're right. Still your board. Select again.
Cows for 400.
Answer this time. Loretta Young played an innocent milkmaid in this Oscar-winning 1947 film.
Prima di incominciare,
Before we begin,
bisogna chiarire un punto.
let's make one thing clear.
Io e solo io sono in controllo.
I am in charge.
Io sono il padrone.
I am the boss.
Io sono il maestro.
I am the master.
Io sono la balena.
I am the walrus. Salvador, if you want to fool around, take off your T-shirt.
You're the kind of guy you want to meet your mother. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring out a lady who actually claims to know which one is Siegfried and which one is Roy. Dorothy, show us your Zbornak!
You'll have to excuse me. I'm a little nervous.
Died.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, but this I care for you thing has always worked, up until now. Sophia, I do love you.
I love you too. So, what do we do?
Complimentary fruit basket and a bottle of champagne.
Good night.
Dorothy's seeing Glenn again.
That's right, and I don't need any advice. I can handle it.
Dorothy, I had a third cousin who ran around with a married man for 15 years.
Are they still together?
Well, they would be, but his wife shot him in the...
For you to come out of your room, I didn't say it was all right for you to talk to me.
You know, I'm kind of an expert in basketball. I mean, that's one of the interesting things about me.
Please, you've lived here for 2 months. There's nothing interesting about you.
I mean it. Ask me anything.
All right? When the hell are you moving out?
You kill me.
Brought her back in.
Maybe they were clawed to death by bloodthirsty animals. Unfortunately, water isn't all that can be around that rock formation.
You're kidding.
A pioneer scout always tells the truth. So I'm going to be even more honest. Our big worry is nobody knows we're missing.
He's been over 60, bald, covered in liver spots, and wears a truss.
Sounds good to me.
I used to attract men who were young and active and virile, but now they...
Rehearse what? You're a non-speaking townsperson.
We added a small stunt where Blanche gets tossed to the floor. Watch.
Well, I think I'm getting the hang of that, Patrick. I think I'll just go out in the backyard now and practice it on the lawn.
Patrick, what is...
Everybody, I want you to meet my friend, Tommy Cochran. Sit down, Tommy. Tommy's a writer. According to the New York Times, he is the most exciting new novelist to come along since Mr. Norman Mailer. We met in the park last week. I was sitting there reading Tommy's latest book, and he came over and offered to autograph it.
That That is incredible. And to think they made a movie about that deadbeat Gandhi. Well, there's a story like this that hasn't been told. Ma, where did you get those glasses?
They're an old pair of Pop's, but at least they've got prescription lenses.
I know you can't possibly see through them. Now take them off before you hurt yourself.
No, they're great. I see just fine. Who's the black guy?
Well, fine. I won't have my sensible meal. Tomorrow's my anniversary anyway. I'll just have my last shake tonight. Where's my shake? Dorothy, you just have to believe me.
It's not enough that you have had half the men in Dade County. You have to have everyone else's man. It is pathetic.
I have just never felt so betrayed in all my life. All right, I haven't been a good friend to a lot of people, but I have been a very good friend to you, Dorothy.
And you should be angry because I didn't sweep under the bed. Gee, you're really a good liar. I know. That's why I'm studying to be a lawyer. See, I'm going to school at night, and the only time I have to study is when you all go.
Ma, I am taking you to the hospital.
No.
Why not? What, are you trying to tell me that possibly there is nothing wrong with you?
No, I feel better just lying here. The ride in the car could only make me feel worse.
Yep, she's right, Dorothy. Sometimes just lying motionless is the...
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm more confused than ever. Good night.
Honey, is there anything at all we can do to help?
Bye-bye, Grandma.
Be good, Michael.
Rose,
Want to share a taxi to the airport?
sounds great.
Make sure that's all you share.
You two have a safe trip.
Bye-bye, Mom.
Girls, how about look?
Oh, girls, you're just in time. Where's Blanche?
Oh, she said to save her a seat. She saw a man smiling at her out in the hall.
You sold cigarettes. You brought cancer to people.
No matter what you think, George, I'm going to try to get work in the entertainment business, but that's not all. That's just my part. You've got a part, too. You've got to be here more.
Well, you never complained before.
The kids were here. I didn't notice. But, George, time in your front.
Girls, please. Well, why don't you just say something so I can become hysterical, eat a box of Malamars, and get it over with?
Okay, Jason called. You got a part in Macbeth, but I'm afraid it isn't the part you were hoping for.
What part did I get? I'll get it. Oh, hello there.
Is Sophia home?
Oh, hi, Duncan.
Hi, Sophia. The rest of the gang's waiting in the car. I'll take your suitcase.
Ma, you're really going, aren't you?
I try to tell you.
Out.
You can't pick men and you can't pick pizza.
So hi, Ma.
Hello there.
You guys ready for bed already?
Yeah, I guess we are.
We're very tired.
Yeah, we took care of a lot of odds and ends around the house today. What did you do, Ma?
What did I do today? What I do every day.
No. As a boy, I got as far as the Pee Wee Leagues, but then I discovered stamps. Wow.
You know, when I first saw you, I said to myself, Philatulus. I like that. Ooh, you're getting so tense. Hey, why don't we go for dinner? Dorothy, tell me something else that's on your list. An entertainer.
Entertaining people, getting my master's, and I wanted to sleep with Michael Del Vecchio.
Wait a minute, Michael Del Vecchio?
Is he tall with black hair? That's top mental. My daughter may be no spring chicken, and her jaw might crack when she chews. And she may have noticeable trouble digesting raw vegetables. But one thing she's not is mental.
Thanks, Ma.
Having the family I need.
Well, I would certainly never have a baby artificially, and I do not approve of you doing it either.
Well, if that's the way you want it, Mama, then you're going to lose me and your grandchild.
He's your uncle, but you have to realize that we're both adults and capable of a caring, warm relationship.
How was the sex?
So good we named it! Well, when she puts it that way, it's so hard to resist. Finished. I have graded the last paper.
D-. You're going to give the...
Doesn't seem. But I thought that a little physical activity would help me snap this setback. I was wrong. You were right. I should just rest. Could you help me get back into bed?
Stanley, how could you fake a relapse? I mean, do I deserve this? Stan, I took care of you because I thought you needed me. I defended you to my...
I understand what you're talking about. I feel the same way when I hear the words, "and filling in for Doc, Tommy Newsom."
Oh, this is terrific, terrific. Blanche took a positive step and positive things are happening in her life. Maybe it'll work for me. You know what I'm going to try to get? Well, when there was a knock at the door. Thinking it was the champagne, he opened the door. Posey was there. She accused him of two-timing. He denied it. Posey pulled out a steak knife, plunged it into his chest, and left the room before Blanche could discover her. Jealous rage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does Rose know?
No.
Oh, good. I don't think you ought to tell her. After all, she's not as worldly and sophisticated about these things as I am.
Absolutely. If she finds out Danny Thomas is a lesbian, it'll break her heart.
Bob is part of testing. I will give you a test to do at home. You will bring in the results and I will see how you do. But I must warn you, both Enrique Mas and Enrique Mas demand that the results be accurate in every detail.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Moss.
You can call me Enrique.
No, I don't think I can.
George, please, I've had enough surprises for one day.
Blanche, faking my death was a mistake. For the last 9 years, every day without you has seemed longer than the one before. Now, you just say the word and I'll go back where I came from, but...
Lee died.
Get out of here.
It's true. Charlie was the only lover I ever had, and my first time was on our wedding night. Get out of here.
Oh, back off, Blanche. Not all of us are classified by the Navy as a friendly port.
Not perfect. John is everything Tom wasn't. He's smart, mature, responsible.
And on time.
Would you girls keep him entertained for a minute? I want to make sure I look perfect before he sees me.
Hello.
Hi, I'm John Quinn.
Hi, I'm Rose, Blanche's roommate.
Hi, Rose.
Won't you come?
Well, I'm glad you straightened that out. I was beginning to remember writing those letters.
Oh, look, it's a letter from my friends, Philomena and Dominic Bosco back in Sicily.
Oh.
They're visiting Miami and they're bringing their daughter Gina.
Who are they?
Oh, well, Gina and I were born within minutes of each other at the same hospital in Brooklyn. That's when Ma became friendly with Philomena, before the family moved back to Sicily.
Will the Boscos be...
Oh my God, I don't believe it.
What?
Take a look. That's snow. Yeah, it's kind of light and wimpy, but it is snow.
White Christmas in Miami? Can you beat that?
Oh, this calls for some Christmas music.
Got it out of the garage?
That's right. You mean out of the cage? No, out of the freezer. You think I know how to kill a live chicken? What do I look like, Conan the Barbarian?
Oh, I must have left the cage door open and she wandered away.
Oh, I gotta get out of here and get another apartment.
Aunt Angela, until you find a place...
Be a Hollingsworth in-law. Everybody will be related but me.
Now that's what I call family planning.
It's not funny. Did anybody ever stop to think how all this makes me feel?
Oh, all right, Rose, how does it make you feel?
To be honest, a little bit like Mr. Snuffles.
That accent, you could almost buy it.
And you must be Sophia.
Your face looks awfully familiar. Was your picture ever on a cigar box?
No, she's right. That was my father.
May we continue, Commandant?
My family once...
Hotel on the beach. Doesn't that sound like fun?
I get to go with you? I don't have to stay here and get gassed with the termites? Oh, Dorothy, you're such a good daughter.
She'll get over it. And if she doesn't, who cares? We're going to meet
I think it's right for a girl to sleep with a man on their first date.
It's a sin.
See, Sophia agrees with me.
All I said was it's a sin. Personally, I'd go back to eating fish on Friday if His Holiness gave that one the green light. We're out of milk.
Here. Here you go.
Dorothy, should I get Sophia a glass of water?
No, Rose, you should sit here and watch her hack herself to death.
Are you sure?
Get the water!
I am going to call the doctor.
I can't breathe.
What I can't understand is how in the world she managed to wait 15 years.
How long did you wait after George died?
So the paramedics came.
What about you, Dorothy?